Yo, what's up, guys, gals, everybody in the house? What is up? What's up? What's up? Andy's Crypto Talk here. You know, usual, typical day. We're gonna just go over charts and stuff. I did actually, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm, Saga V1, V2 holder. And just got my hands on this new one called a Jambo phone, partnered with Aptos. There's some links in my Telegram there. You can always Google it, just jambophone.xyz. Looking into it a little deeper here, and we're gonna probably do a video or some more videos on that, just to show you guys what's going on. So far, like, buying the Saga V1 and V2 has paid off quite nicely. Just for example, the V2, I think paying $450 US for that, and I've already gotten airdrops worth over, I think it was about $150 at all-time high, maybe even a little bit more. I'm of course holding those tokens because there's a good chance that we could see those tokens go up in price quite a bit higher. So anyways, guys, off that sort of rambling, let's talk about what's going on here since we last were on. Let's go to the hourly. So we can see here, this is a good way of seeing what we were talking about. We're going down this channel, and then as our squiggles showed, we were gonna do a bit of sideways action and then push up out of here. Those definitely came to fruition, and we can see this one actually, this interesting price action that I drew right up here. The interesting price action about drawing right here, you can see it went up and down and then did this W, and we can see this kind of did it at a lower resolution. So we have this, straight up, straight down sort of W formation, and that's when I think it continues on. It sort of trend reverts at that point. If we just don't ignore the wicks, we can see here that we're looking at this sort of megaphone, and these tend to break upwards. So I think we grind along this and then break up out of this sort of range. So look for a play kind of in here. It is going to get very volatile. So, I mean, here we could see this. Even a little steeper sort of action. Right? Like I was assuming that we'd have a candle up, a candle down, and then we continue on up. But we'll see. I mean, it could just be a lot of sideways up and down with fairly high volatility and volume, just due to the nature of the price actions near all-time high, as well as it also, to take into consideration, you have to understand that these volumes in that we have coming from ETF flow, that also does something and changes a dynamic to the market. If we sort of drill down, we can see right now, we're making some steady push up, and this is after market is closed. So I remember, like crypto's 24/7, right? This happened after market close hours, so some crazy stuff can happen. I'm in the camp of up from here. Some people say one more push down. It's totally possible. Everything is possible. Don't discount all possibilities, because most of the time you have to just move through the market unbiased by which you believe. Like, I believe it might go up, but that doesn't matter. The market can do whatever it wants. It can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So just make sure that you can stay solvent throughout the whole time. time in the market, you know, like people say is better than timing the market. Well, I mean, neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter about time in the market, because if your time in the market is just going to zero, then it doesn't really fucking matter, right? You're going to end up at zero anyways. So yeah, BTC looking like we're going to continue pushing up. I honestly thought this was the push up, but you know, makes sense to make kind of two tags on this megaphone. Usually we see a third test is the breakout. So that's where I think we're going from here with BTC. Again, could it go down? Yeah, but I just don't think that that's in the cards. We're going to see later today. Maybe I actually have on X, maybe we can find out inflows for today. 333K by July. Carpe Noctem. Make sure you guys follow this guy. This is where, well, usually he gives it to us, but let's see if we can find out. He's usually reposting them. Maybe not. Okay, let's see. ETF inflow. Sorry guys, just real quick trying to find. Is this it? No, that was yesterday. Is this it? That's Wednesday. Yeah, I still haven't found a good place to track these. Usually, actually, Rational Root's a good one to follow as well. I'm on this new account again. This time, I think I'm done shilling coins to the degree I was, because that's kind of... I mean, the last time it was all SLERF anyways. Like, I wasn't shilling it. I was literally just posting too much too fast. I did get the email that I was given my account back, but it actually wasn't, because it still says suspended if I try to log into it. See if I try. It still says suspended, which I don't understand. But anyways, I digress. WIF set to make a new all-time high today. Look at that. So follow Web3 Quant as well. WIF is on a tear. We'll get to it. Let's check this out. So where are we at here? Oh, excuse me. Right on the lows here for Ethereum, Bitcoin evaluation. So I think like either it bounces from here or we're going down further for the ETH BTC. I did move this arrow down the way, but I'm actually going to remove it because I don't know anymore. I'm less confident on where this is going. This could potentially be a flag, a channel, whatever you want to call it. We could bounce at any point, like I said, but if we go under this low at 4.8, I think it's going to continue going down fairly quickly to at least 4.5. So yeah, that's ETH BTC. ETH itself, we were saying kind of correct out of this downtrend and then continue on up, and it's looking like it's doing that. It's at a bit of a rejection here at 3,600. Could it go back down 3,300? I doubt it, just with the strength in the rest of the market. This will probably continue pushing up 3,800, 4,000, and continue on from there. That's alongside the strength of BTC, so pay attention to that. If BTC doesn't go, then ETH could potentially just start going if we get that bounce in ETH BTC. So just keep an eye on that correlation. I usually do that. So SOL BTC on the daily still trending down. We have to extend this flag now a bit because we did dip down. Let's go on a little bit lower time frame. Let's go 1 hour. Yeah, so it's got this bigger flag now to break out of because we did create a new low here. But I think now that you know, we got this kind of secondary lower bottom, this is really kind of a stop run on what we see. And now we're looking like this more immediate term trend, which is something like that, is actually breaking out. So we want to see this kind of continue on up to here, and then form something and move from there. So yeah, just something to keep an eye on for SOL BTC. We're pausing in between these two structures that I circled, which is again, right, this is going to be your resistance and this is your support, right? So that's kind of why we're in this pennant. We can see that that's pretty clear. It's forming a bigger pennant, but I think we're pushing up to the upside here. We want to see it push up and break out around this 2.7 region, and then of course once we get over this sort of midpoint highs, over 2.8 is going to be gas. So we'll put an arrow there just to signify this is kind of our gas level up. And then, you know, I think now that we spent quite a bit of time down here, I thought more time would be spent up here. You know, this is a significant resistance, which we're going to break up out of. And then once we break up out of it, I think it kind of goes a little bit faster. But we'll see. Again, keep an eye on BTC dominance maybe, just to see what happens here. We are squiggling along the lines of scrimmage that I was drawing, and kind of falling down. Just like I said, falling down, you know, not in a straight line. But definitely keep an eye on it. It could continue trending upwards and then bounce out a little higher. Because yeah, it looks like this is kind of a significant resistance up top here. We definitely don't want to see a gain across that for ETH and SOL and all these other altcoins and things, because then they'll not do so hot. SOL Ethereum, I think this one looks even stronger because we can see this. This is the low right here. So that's our breakout play from here. And now we have this other significant trend line structure to break out of. You know, if we ignore this one anomaly wick, then, you know, it looks like we're primed for breakout out of that. But usually we don't ignore the wicks. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. Once we pass this sort of 5325 region, it should go up fairly quickly. In next resistance would be at the 5538. So yeah, I think something like that for SOL Ethereum. I just think the outperformance from Solana is definitely, it's definitely evident at this point in the market. Where is our SOL chart? There it is. Okay, so yeah, looking a lot better on this trade, of course. You know, now that we're back up to 4.5 Rs, you know, it's a lot more comfy to be raising your stops to at least here. You know, at least into the 160 region, you could increase your stops. Or even if you're, you know, a little more risk averse, trying to avoid it, you could set your stops kind of under the 179. We really don't want to see it lose that, because then we can definitely drop down to this 160 region. But I think at this point, with the strength in the market, it's really this play that's, this play that we're going to get, but it's going to be over here, right? So I thought this is kind of what we're doing. We did that a little deeper. Look at that. It's actually, it's drawn out exactly like what's happening, but it just did it deeper. It's super weird, right? If I stretched it out and stuff, it would make more sense what I'm talking about. either way, yeah, like, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I think we follow this steadier trend. Like I said, we're following this steadier trend upwards, and just, you know, whoa, why is that not locked? Slowly ascending. I mean, not that slow. This is pretty fast. This has all happened since the beginning of March, right? So beginning of March, we were in the 150 regions, up to the 210s, and now we're in 180, and people are like, it's over. Dude, it's just starting, guys. I mean, it's starting to really get there, and you gotta think of it, zoom out, and think of it like I talked. You know, this is Normie. Normie's looking for a double, right? So I don't think when normies start coming in near this parabolic upwards, that's, you know, they're going for this price discovery, this arc, right? This is the arc. At this rate, I think it really shoots up like that. You know, this could be done by July. It could be printing like that by July. So, yeah, where normies think in that sort of style, we zoom out, in a little bit harder and look at things a little bit differently. So, what are we looking at here? This is interesting because, see, this is the high right there. I mean, you could look at it in a couple different ways. But yeah, I would drill down to like 4 hour at least. And then you can see this is kind of that trend right there. It's almost like that. Because it would make more sense that this came out, retest, and then shoot off. You know, it really lines up with that. Right? So that's an interesting line to look at, that we've broken out of the downtrend. You know, you can always see this differently in different angles of attack. You can see it on different resolutions of market structure. So this was a bottom. Rotate. Tap that top. Bounce. Rotate. Breakthrough. Changing of market structure. Retest. And then off to the races. That's at least, you know, that's how I'm looking at this, right? So we see this. We see a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high. Attempt for downtrend, right? People start shifting to bearishness. People start saying, okay, it's over, it's over, it's over. We saw a lot of this over the past few days, right? And then what happens? We print a higher low. We then print a higher high. What does that signify? That's kind of meaning this is a fake out. We now printed a higher low, and a lot of people look for that. A low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. We're in an uptrend again. A higher low, and it's off to the races. So I'm thinking a lot of people do enter in around here in positions fairly good size for the move up into at least recovering all-time highs. This year's all-time highs. Right, that's actually, it's interesting because that would, so, yeah, I mean, different sort of angles of attack. But yeah, that's kind of, you couldn't ignore that. So yeah, it just breaks through. Breaks through. Breaks through. Like this is, it's breaking through these angles with a lot of power and a lot of steam. So Solana, one to keep on your watch list. FTM, bit of a correction off the high here. I think right around here is not too bad of an entry, but you could wait for under a dollar. The thing is, a dollar is very strong psychological resistance. So I think people looking for upside on this, they're measuring it on this, right? So, you know, $1 to $3.50 is a good gain, 3.5x. So that's why they're you know, a lot of entries on a dollar. A lot of entries on a dollar. So yeah, I think it's a pretty safe $1 to $2. You know, $1 to $2 is, I'd say, a pretty safe play. It's an easy double, easy flip. Do we have something marked? No, let's mark something. Let's do it on this top one because we got more resolution. And so we got $1, $2. And then you kind of have your $1.50 in between. And then you're going to have this sort of structure. Potentially. How deep this goes is a question mark. But I think, you know, this moving forward, maybe it doesn't take this long. This seems pretty long. So maybe like we're on this trend. This is the base trend. This is the speedy trend. It could potentially just continue like that. Yeah, I mean, potentially by July. Yeah, just kind of look for this to break. Play this. Play that. Just play out of that. Maybe it happens a little further. I don't know. Let's just get some lines on there. Something like that. Let's go to the 4 hour just to make sure we got pretty good accuracy on this thing. So yeah, just watch for this trend to break. Bouncing on a dollar, I think we don't really go lower than that. But yeah, just something to keep an eye on because this thing can dump pretty fast. 7%, right? Regain 7% just as fast. 9%, right? Like a lot of volatility. SWE moving up into our range. Look for a play here. I think we went over this. A lot of these charts look the same, guys. DYM broke this intermittent trend. We're moving up over this zone. I think we gas, you know, continue on up. There's finally airdrops like confirmed. NIM is first. Aptos I'm going to keep an eye on because this is the Jambo phone. They're partnered, so I might end up having to buy some Aptos here. Even with my Solana maxiness, I might actually end up having to buy some of this. Let's keep an eye on this. Everything's looking like a good rotation is available to it. Just pick your favorite shitter and go do the shitter work. What's going on here? Yeah, we're continuing an up trend is what it looks like. Total. Yeah, Megaphone looks a lot like BTC. Total 2, total 3. Let's go to that actually. We don't need ETH in there. This is looking really good. This is looking really good actually because it's not really megaphoning. it's more bull flagging. And it's already breaking out here. Oh, it's a little bit of a megaphone. A little megaphone. Little megaphone-ish. But yeah, we're breaking out already on total 3. This is altcoin season, baby. Altcoin season, baby. Let's have a look. Altcoin season. Index. Because you can get actually an index. Blockchain Center. Nice. Look at this. It's not altcoin season is what they say. But we're bouncing off this mid-trend. So, interesting correlations to look at. Do I absolutely believe this? No. No, not at all. Yeah, interesting. Not at all. SLERF literally launched like 2 weeks ago, not even. And this has been going down. So no, I don't believe this, right? SLERF, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the SLERF dog. So that's what we were thinking of, was an uptrend breakout. It doesn't look like we got exactly that. Let's get rid of these. Can you not do that? I'm trying to delete it. There you go. So we didn't get that breakout to the upside. We got it break down to the downside. This is what I was talking about. We had this uptrend going. I'm just going to ignore that one wick for a sec. Yeah, see, we had this uptrend going. And now it's shifted to a downtrend. But I think this was correlated with the push down in the rest of the markets. Solana especially. Because Solana did push down. Like I thought it pushed down a little harder than I anticipated. But it needed to for its leverage flush. That's something else I've been keeping an eye on. Is open interest crypto heat map. Coin glass, I think. Yeah. Oh no. Coinalyze. Nope. Wait, was that funding heat map? This is the one. Open interest. See, we can see, you know, when open interest was very strong. March 5th. Let's go to Sol real quick, just so I can show you the example. There's March 5th. Open interest got really hot. What did it do? Liquidate. And there's definitely going to be more candles like that. Let's see. March 10th. Yeah, so like March 10th as well. Every time we see it just heat up too much. 11th, 13th. Okay, so yeah, something to keep an eye on. We can see Doge, right? Pepe, whiff. They usually are fairly orange. Like whiff, look at this, it was orange most of the time, almost. Just a little bit of green. So as we see the open interest, the funding rate heat map go up, we just have to keep an eye on liquidations. Can come from that. Sorry about that brightness. Liquidations can come from that. You can even look at it over a daily, right? It's like SOL has gone up 20% APR. Something like Pepe, almost over double, 62, 85. It did hit 135 at a point, right? So just something to keep an eye on. There's little things like this you can keep an eye on, but it's not. It doesn't tell you everything. So let's go back to SLERF and see what we were talking about. So the rest of the market does affect these things, right? But let's go to the 20-minute. But yeah, we can see here we're fairly strong coming out of these bottom, right? Like we talked about, we flipped this. This was our support, turned into resistance, then back into support again, right? So let's actually put a solid line there so we know this is, you know, this is kind of like, this is what we want to work with. So we can ignore that. This is what we want to work with because, you know, we can see that it's, you know, this is where it's touched down many times before. And you want to get as many touch points as you can get. So that's why we're going to push it up just that little bit. It's going to give us enough touch points. So maybe one more touch down here. And then we continue on up. Along with the rest of the markets though. Right? Like, that's one thing to keep your eye on. And again, if this is our support, we don't really want to see it lose this. Because if it loses this, then we could be looking at more downside to this sort of 58-cent region. So yeah, SLERF I think is pretty primed to move up past this kind of range high resistance. It's right near the $1 mark. So I mean, that's where I'm going to just leave it right there. Just because it looks like that's a good range-bound environment. We want to see it push past this once it gets here. And then move on up some more. So this is kind of where we're looking at for some gas in the tank. And once we kind of push past up that one, like that 95 cents to $1 range, I think that's when, you know, this thing's going to really go parabolic. Just because we're being held back by, again, a lot of liquidity, a lot of trades have come in this range here. So that's, I'll mark that as this is our major point of resistance on the way up, which we would like to see flip. I think just to see this, that would be the golden ticket right here. So first gas is break up above this 8.2. Second gas is break up above this 9.4, $1 range. And then we can continue seeing a nice upward trend forming for SLERF. If you go down to like lower time frame, this looks so bullish, man. Like this looks so bullish, right? Like, just look at that. Straight up to the heavens. Correction. Huge W. Off to the heavens again. We're bouncing off 40s of RSI, which is very strong. 4-hour trend. We don't have anything on the daily. Look at this daily. The daily looks crazy bullish too. Like you could ignore the wicks kind of and just see that's the bull flag we're in. You just get a bit of a straight drawing. That's the bull flag we're in, right? Something like that is totally possible. You know, by mid-May, I think we see some crazy numbers from these things, like WIF. I think WIF is just getting started, guys. Like, this is just getting started, really. It's kind of gross that, like, you know, you can. The thing is, people are like, for example, around to see this at low prices. It doesn't matter. Buy high, sell higher. What did we get here? Look, confirmation of what? we broke out of this recent range high. This is that like golden zone of confirmation that this is an easy play. This is literally like brain free at this point because it's in price discovery. It's a meme. It's on Solana. It's a leveraged play of Solana. So if you're going to buy Solana with 100% of your bags, you should more than likely at least take 5 or 10%. And this is not financial advice, but put it into WIF or other strong meme coins that you see like SLERF, WIF, Bonk, Myro, Omnicat, GME. This one's actually really weak right now though. But I don't think this doesn't recover. I think we do see a recovery on this thing eventually. Once it sort of resuscitates itself from these low prices. But what do we see here actually on GME? A low, a lower low, a higher low. So if we can continue this trend and then make a higher high, right around here, I'd be very interested. Like I said, I'd be very interested over these prices because once it can break out of this down range, then I think that's when we're really resuscitated, so to speak. So yeah, I don't want to discredit anything, guys. There's so much opportunity out there. Even if I'm in these or not in these, like what had happened with Doge. Look at this. We marked this play. We were just talking about this, weren't we? I said to play this, didn't I? I didn't even play it myself. To be honest, guys, I didn't play Doge myself. But does that mean I can't get in? No, that does not. Because I think this is going to $1. That's the target everybody has in their brain. So, like, at least $1. Right? This is actually... It's pushed up really nicely. And I think now you could send this down to the 10-minute or something. And just start drilling it down deeper and deeper and see what you can see. And this is kind of what we see right now. Is it's in this uptrend channel. And like we've said this before, third time it hits these tops, it's going to break out. So you could actually put a play in here. If you didn't get into this, you could put a play in here right now even. It's not horrible. There's so much strength on this thing. You just have to size accordingly. Like one risk is one risk. Right? And you need to size properly for that risk being you're okay to lose that amount. And it's only a couple percent of your portfolio. Again, not financial advice at all. Right? Look at this, 167 RR to $1. Now, are you going to hold that long? Who knows? Who knows? But I'll tell you this much. If you don't risk anything, you're not going to make any gains. So you do have to risk some to make some. Whoops. Block that one. I want to see that one. How much was that one? 60 risk. 60 RR. We entered there. It went into drawdown. A little bit. Half of what we were willing to risk. You know, it never drawed down enough. And then it took off from that spot. This is a very interesting place to play it. Because, you know, some emotions are going to come in. And then you see it just go like that. That's crazy, right? So, again, I think, you know, this is a pretty risky play. What you could do is... Whoops. Didn't mean to lock it. You can make it a little lower like that as well. Even that's pretty good RR. Or try to wait for it to... Maybe it'll hit this bottom again. And do something like that. Really, it just depends on your risk. 10-minute is pretty low resolution, so you'd want ideally like hourly resolutions. and try to let this play out a bit and see, because this could turn into a little bit of a Pico top for the current moment, and it could correct down this way as well. So it could correct on this trend and then continue down to, you know, around here. And then sometimes, like I've heard CBS say this, place your entry where your stop would have been, right? So my stop first time I said was right around here. So maybe place your entry there and see. Maybe place it there and see. And then your stop can be much lower. You have a much safer play. So yeah, I just see a lot of strength coming into Doge. I think Doge continues to give strength to the other memes, things like SHIB. I think this one, yeah, this one's good. This one's good to go here to really make a recovery over that, because I don't think Doge, yeah, Doge is already pushing up out of there. So SHIB is going to be a catch-up play. You know, it's out of this transition and now we're pushing up. As people see Doge, they're going to go to the beta SHIB, and SHIB's going to move up as well. So I think SHIB would be a good entry here to say, you know, we're up on this trend. We're moving up this trend, and we can lower. See, that's where I would put. I'd maybe put one bet here just to play this beta play right now, the beta play. Yeah, I think we don't want to see it overcome this candle here. We don't want to see it overcome that. Let's go on a 4 hour. No, that's okay. You can put it up here. You don't really want to see it lose these kind of last couple hours. So that would be my first risk play. But you could also let this break the trend first. Go back to the 1 hour and we'll see. So you could let this break this trend first, even though it looks really close right now. Let it break the trend and then form something, and then you could make a decision after that. Right, like, see, this is kind of forming, so this looks like a good place to potentially play it. But again, it could potentially push lower and then recover. You could just wait till it does something after it's broken this downtrend. So that's something to pay attention to if you want to play SHIB. Again, I think this one to catch up and go to where Doge is. Let's have a look here, because if we zoom out on Doge, this was the run up, retracement, pushing up out, and you know it's made an arc out quite a ways. So I think if we want to see that, you know, it arcs out quite a ways, potentially to here. So you could even, you know, have a bigger swing sort of trade to about there. 11 hours, or play this smaller one for 22 hours. It just, again, it's the 22 is going to be more risky. This one's going to be more safe. You could always do that as well and do a little more risky. 57 hours and just target a much higher. 100%. I think we'll leave these. No, that one's there. And this one. Actually, probably right around here. Don't really want to see it lose this level, because that's sort of like in line with the trend. Actually, you could do it a little bit higher even, because you can see this trend forming from down here. So really, like, yeah, pretty tight right there. Pretty tight right there. 15 Rs still. 23 Rs. Right? I think SHIB has this play that, you know, I was aiming for here. It's happening a little bit further. 44 minutes, guys. I don't know what else I should cover, really, to be honest. AI is about to break out again, it looks like. Some of these plays. AGIX. Let's have a look. Yeah, if it overcomes that, it's gas. PAL. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah. Same thing. I just think we want to see these. Oh yeah, see, like this one. Fetch is overcoming and it's gassing. So maybe wait for it to come retest. Otherwise, it already did the retest here and it might just continue. So you could drill this one down to like a lower time frame and kind of play that structure. I think we don't want to see it lose this kind of low at 290. Right? Something like that. Yeah, that looks nice. See, resistance, 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 support, gone. Don't want to see the support flip to resistance. So this one's good to enter at any point here. If you wanted to look for a quick entry, you could run a fib and smack an entry right there. It doesn't have to correct any farther, but that's a good place if you had that opportunity to enter there. And then you want to target, like, that'd be really safe. Like, that would be your safest play ever. But I think this thing is probably easier to target, like $4 at this point. Maybe even 5. Maybe even more. $5. WorldCoin taking a pretty big correction. Let's see, 4 hour. Looking a little head and shouldersy, but I don't think that really matters. Don't want to lose that, really. That's kind of our support up here. Right? And you want to see it break that. Down red. Yeah, so that's kind of the indecision point we were at. We're literally in the middle of that. So not a good place to enter this one. Kind of wait and see what happens. Does it go over? Does it go under? And then inevitably the real gas will happen after about $12. Gas 1, gas 2. Gaston on you. Render. Didn't we just look at that? That looks very similar. Right? Very similar. Don't lose this. Overcome this. Kind of in the middle of that. Real gas is going to happen after that. And we can see that's kind of a range. So, you know, over this, it's going to gas up to here. But this is the middle of the range, so I wouldn't really play it anyways. Tau. Big correction on Tau. Hit up the 750s. It looks like it could roll over. But it could just do what it's doing here. And then make some form of upward movement. And then start pricing up again. Into the thousands. And then again. And then again, and then again, and then again, and it just keeps happening over and over and over. Because we're in a bull market, you know. We are in a bull market, you know. Anybody here, if you haven't listened to Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. You can literally go cop it on YouTube. Jesse Livermore. You can get the synopsis in 10 minutes, this guy. This is crazy. I wouldn't do this one. Jesse Livermore. There's a few audiobooks. The suicide. Wow, interesting. I didn't know he killed himself. I didn't know he killed himself. But this is the one I'm talking about. There's a couple of them. You know, it's got chapters. I think this is the one I listened to, as you can see. I might listen to it again because it's actually really good. There's a lot of fundamental lessons in there that are good to hear. We're in a bull market. That's it. You don't gotta complicate things. Keep it simple. Could this be the greater trend? Right? So there's potential to fall down to this greater trend. That would be, I think, bearish. That would be a little more bearish, but still bullish in the long term. Right? Stuff like this. This is huge strength in AI on this one, so do with it what you will. Not financial advice. Jupe. Look at the juke play. We told you guys, play above this. Gas. We told you right above there, right? Let's go down to the... where did we tell you? Right in the beginning of March. I circled it. Right there. You could have zoomed in. 10 minutes. Look at that, you could have zoomed in. You can use my shitty TA. And you can be like, okay, well, it broke the line, he said. It retested. It broke out again. It retested. This would have been probably your best entry. Here or here. Or you could have just bought the breakout. And you would have still been okay. You could have bought the top candle. Top of this candle. 67 cents. And you would have been okay. Right now at $1.20. That was a free 2x unleveraged play. If you leverage that shit, oh my god. So what are we looking at on Jupe? So we're just in this constructive trend right here. Look at this. Tell me the chart's gonna send without telling me the chart's gonna send. I mean, free another free 2x for you guys here. You could literally play the breakout of this. You don't want to see it ever come back down, really. To $2. 9 hours. Or you could literally buy this spot right now and it'll get to $2 probably in the next month. Not financial advice, but yeah, this Jupiter's looking really good to send. I think a lot of the airdrop sellers are out and whatnot, so something to keep a barometer on the rest of the market is this LTC. And we talked about this because Kaz talks about this, and Kaz is the god. He is the goat. He knows what everything is. He knows what's coming. He knows what's going. He talked about Doge. He literally mentioned Doge, and people are copy trading him. So it's moving up, but it's not out of this box yet. I think that's where we have more concern, is when it leaves this high here. right? When it goes over 115, that's when we start looking at overall the market can go really parabolically crazy ballistic. But that means it's the end of times. That is the end of times. At least stage 1. Because what did we see here? An extended boom, right? This was November, big pump in December, and that's when Bitcoin dumped. And then a little bit of altcoin rallying, but really realistically it just all flushed back out, right? We did see a revenge pump in the summer of 19. We call it DeFi summer. Then more bear and a big pump here again, right? Big pump. This is 2021, and we have the rug of Vitalik, the Vitalik right here, Monday, May 21st. I remember that. I remember watching my net worth in dog coins go down 50% in a matter of minutes and not selling. And lucky enough, we see this run up after, right? Like this run up is not quite the same as this. This was like a wave down, like a dropping a marble on concrete and it steps down. This was like the marble got sent back up again and then bounced down and then into the bear, you know, and into the FTX collapse and all that stuff. And here we are on our way to recovery, right? We're breaking out of this. It's an interesting point to note because this box right here is actually the box we broke out and really sent the rally in December of 20 into the pair box. So we're just getting above that. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't think people are bullish enough. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I don't think people are bullish enough. If this is a barometer on risk, as VIX is a barometer on risk overall, I don't think people are bullish enough. Look at VIX dropping down, rejecting. Good to see. Good to see. These guys are pumping. I don't know what the fuck that was. Stocks are pumping still. No sign of slowing down. This just can continue. It could correct. Yeah, a lot of people say it could correct. It could correct. I don't think it has a reason to correct right now. Everything's just going up. Look at the US 30. Wow. Wow. Dollar? Uh-oh. We didn't want to see this. We didn't want to see this. We didn't want to see this. Dollar can go up and risk can go up too, but we didn't really want to see this. Now, where's our next kind of areas of concern? That's the intermediate. This is a bit longer time. And this is oh no. Right? So that's kind of like stages of grief. We'll see what happens here. We really don't want to push above these because that's bad for crypto markets somewhat. Holy. Look at this, guys. I drew this and I was like, it could just keep going. And it literally went fucking parabolic. We were talking about this back here. February-ish. And it shot up 800 to now 1600. Major correction, though. When you see this type of volatility, wow. 20% in a day on MicroStrategy. That's crazy, man. This monthly is probably... Oh, what? 3,000 during the height of the internet bubble. Overcame crypto bull market. MicroStrategy adopts Bitcoin. Let's get that. Oh, why text? Interesting. If this doesn't look bullish, I don't know what does, man. Would I buy right now? MicroStrategy? No, man. I don't buy MicroStrategy. Like, I don't buy stocks. I just look at it. But you can see clearly, downtrend is broken. And then we're up on this, and we go. So this is where I think we could see some... Look at the 3 days. Some kind of correction, of course, down into this. Well, it already did it. It already did it. And then it pushed up out. Maybe that. Yeah, it could just be retesting this, ready to go for its next leg. Earnings in May is gonna be like $5,000 by then. On this trajectory. What the fuck, man? When did this peak? Let's see. This peaked in February of 21. Okay, so this is an interesting thing to check out. That we see MicroStrategy peak in February of 21. Let's see what Bitcoin did. Oh, we gotta get on the 3 day. February of 21. Interesting. Its first run-up peak coincided with MicroStrategy peaking out. And then some sideways action into bear market. Michael, my boy. The real Chad, the real GOAT. Look at that transfer. Downtrend into uptrend. Into super uptrend. Into omega uptrend. Into fatalic uptrend. This is the next stage. Uptrend. Omega uptrend. Omega uptrend. Fatalic uptrend. What's going on? I just want to see real quick what's going on here. Oh yeah, another rejection up at this top of the range here. Bounce down. Still strong. Like, this is that strong parabolic arc that we start to see at the beginning of rallies. See if I can find another one that looks similar. Yeah, because the time frames are always stretching and changing, so it's hard to find the same. But like this kind of zigzagging, I mean, you can tell it looks similar to this one, right? It's somewhat to this one. Stepping up, stepping up, stepping up. That's what we see, right? It's stepping up, stepping up, stepping up, and then it goes. Generally, before these types of big upward moves, you know, we see that kind of zigzaggy price action starting to trend to the upside. Here's a good one, actually. So up, 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 up. Yeah, anyways, guys, I think that's all for today. I think I'm going to call it right there. It's basically, Solana all-time highs in the next month or so, I'd say. WIF is already going faster than I anticipated. Listen to the audiobooks. Follow Winternomics TV on YouTube. This show, Alpha, I was actually in the mid of it. Rewatching it probably for the third time. This is a great one, guys. This is, and it's got some really good charting here near the end. my charting is nothing compared to this. Please do yourself the service of going to Winternomics TV. Follow his ecosystem. There's so much knowledge. There's stages of knowledge that I can't reach, that people like Kazanomics can, because he's been doing this for way longer than people like me. So you got to trickle down and, learn from the ones that have been around the longest and form your trustworthy opinions off of learning. Don't just base yourself off someone in a mask like Kaz, or someone in a Hisoka avatar like me. Just don't base Sol around just one person. Make your own decisions out there, and not financial advice. Just fucking don't risk it all on one fucking meme coin, man. That's all you gotta just not do that. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one. Andy's Crypto Talk out.